Here's the deal, everyone. I have an electronic door lock on the front of my door that is no longer working. It works manually with a key or from the inside, but the electronics are all messed up because here's what happened. There was a battery that ended up corroding inside and just messed up with the brains of the thing. So I have to install a new one. And so I'm installing this T-Ho electronic door lock. And the cool thing is it has a fingerprint sensor, which I'm super excited to start using. So let's get to it. Here's some of the tools that I thought I might need, like a flathead screwdriver, Phillips head screwdriver, the lock itself, and a drill. But I ended up really just needing the drill and screwdriver. So first thing I need to do is remove the back plate. It's held on with 3 screws. After you pull that out, disconnect the cable that is connecting to the brains of the lock. Then take off the mounting plate. It's just held on with 2 screws. Very simple and easy. And then we're going to turn to the front of the door, pull out the lock and the keypad, and then you're going to notice all the internal mechanisms of the deadbolt itself. But let's go ahead and look inside the box. So what's inside? We have lots of literature, we have a helpline, you have instructions, which were written very well and really easy to follow. We also have a new deadbolt. We have a set of keys that are really especially helpful in case your battery dies, that type of thing, and you're unable to open it electronically. You have your strike plate, and you also have lots of screws and that type of thing. Here is the new keypad with the fingerprint sensor. I love it. It looks super great. I can't wait to be able to use a code and or my fingerprint in order to open up the door. Then you have the mechanism that's on the inside of the house, which has the manual turn for the lock, as well as the compartment that you put your 4 AA batteries in. Make sure you change these batteries out frequently so you don't end up with corroding and destruction of your lock. Then I'm going to take out the old deadbolt. Just take out the 2 screws, pull that out, and you can discard it or use it in another door if you want. I cleaned up the door just to make sure everything was nice and fresh. And before you install this, make sure you notice there is a correct orientation. It says up on the little brass part on the inside. So that part should be facing up when you stick it inside of the door. Then you insert 2 screws to secure the deadbolt in place. And then you're ready to install the front part of the new lock. Feed the cable through the bottom of the underneath of the deadbolt, and then this arm goes through that little flat part of the deadbolt. That's what's going to turn the lock into the lock position or unlock position. Now let's look around at the back side. This is the mounting plate. It tells you which side is up, which side goes closest to the door. It also tells you where to feed the cable through in order to connect the front of this new lock to the back of the new lock. Then get your 2 long screws and you're going to manually just kind of feel around. This is like the hardest part of the whole thing, is getting the screw to connect to the front part of the new lock. After you've found the right place, do a loose connection and then make sure you align the keypad that's in the front nice and straight, having a nice straight orientation before you tighten up those screws for the mounting plate. Once that's done, though, you can go ahead and connect the cable to the back side of the new lock, then line up the little holes with the notch that controls and turns the locking mechanism and put that in place. And I was looking for the screws that holds this backside onto the door, but they were already on the mechanism itself. So I was like, oh my God, there they are. So then what I did, this is where I used the little screwdriver just to tighten up each one of those 3 screws and make sure once again that you have this orientation nice and straight up and down, especially if you're a little OCD, because that will bother you until the cows come home. But anyway, after you do that, all you have to do is make sure that the locking mechanism moves smoothly. I did it from the backside. I also used a key heat in the front to make sure that everything was nice and smooth. It all tested out perfectly. Now I get to put my 4 AA batteries in and then start programming. Each one of these locks might be a little bit different in its programming, but I love that pulling the little plastic piece off for my fingerprint. But after I programmed it all works so wonderfully. I'm so happy with my new lock. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a like, a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. And also check out some of my other DIY projects I have on my DIY playlist. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time.